Hey booze, hey, do your blankets feel like super glue in the morning? Well sis, it's time to shake them off. Welcome to Wake Up Happy Sis, the show that jumpstarts your day with a bang. We're strolling down these self-care streets as we navigate the maze of wellness and healing. We're helping you live happy, healed, and whole. And we do it all with a hearty dose of belly laughs for good measure. Stay tuned and get ready to wake up happy, sis. Hey, booze. Hey, it's your girl, Leanne Dulce. Let me put my glasses on, my little specs, because I'm cute out here in these streets. Your chief self-love officer over here to Wake Up Happy Sis. And welcome to another empowering episode of the Wake Up Happy Sis Show. So, hey to all my people on TikTok, hey to everybody on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, everywhere. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The Wake Up Happy Sis Show is the show that helps you go from just surviving to unapologetically and authentically thriving so that you can live your happiest, most fulfilling life. We're broadcasting live on KCCR Cityscape Radio, and today we're tackling something that touches many of us, and that is transforming our anxious moments into a powerhouse of potential. That's right. This episode is called From Anxious to Awesome, and it's about flipping the script on our anxiety. Okay? And we got a packed show for you today. Going to be diving deep into these anxiety waters, what it is, how it affects us in the workplace, because we give you a lot of tips for how are you navigating your life in the workspace, right? And also debunking some of those tough stigmas that kind of keep us from talking about it. Not only that, we're always going to arm you with some daily tips, mindset shifts that hopefully you can start using today to manage and master your anxiety, okay? So, as always, grab your favorite cup or bottle or, whatever it is you want to drink in this morning. And let's get ready to turn those worries into wonders. So, as always, we're here to navigate this together and empower you to rise above the noise and to just shine, okay?
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, sunshine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty amazeballs. I'm ready to get into it now.
That's how we feeling? Amazeballs even? I love it. I love
Because
it.
you're in my wheelhouse today.
Look, we stay in the wheelhouse. We psychically connected at this point. We stay in the wheelhouse over here. Let me turn the volume up so they can hear you over on the TikTok side. I can't wait to I gotta get my TikTokness up so that we can broadcast directly to TikTok. Because right now nobody can see you. They can hear you. I know they can't see you, but they can hear you because I can't stream directly there. You gotta have like 10,000 followers. So I gotta step my game up. So y'all need to help me get to 10,000 on TikTok so that I can use their live streaming platform. So, but how was your weekend?
It was pretty freaking cool. Like living my best life because I was that anxious to awesome person that we gonna be talking about today.
Yes.
On the other side of anxious to awesome, on the other side of awesome is freedom from the bullshiggity.
Say that. Say that again. Say that again. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help
to this shit, girl.
Oh yeah, and we're trying to help you guys. Let me explain the point of the show. For those of you who are unaware of what we do and why we do what we do, our goal here is to always help you live your best life. And we use our own lives as the example. Right? We use our own lives as the example. So you get it real raw, uncut, honest here. Okay, we may drop a couple of cuss words on you because, it's apropos at the time. But we're always going to give you some tips. We're going to give you some stats so that you know we're not just talking out the side of our necks over here. Okay. So my weekend though was it was interesting. It was good. I had a good
Good.
time. It was good. I had a good time, but I got into a little bit of a tiff with somebody, with a really important person in my life. So hopefully we can resolve that and work through that. So other than that,
It'll be okay.
but I got an interesting inbox this morning
Mhm.
um, from someone who says they're my cousin on my father's side. Now, anybody who really knows me knows I did not grow up with my father in my life, although he lived 4 blocks from me my entire childhood. I confronted him. So I always knew who he was. I confronted him when I was 15, you know.
Mhm.
But come to find out, he lied that his mother was dead, that his father was dead. His father apparently just died.
Like just
They said they buried him on 420 Saturday. And his mom is bedridden, but she's still alive too.
is he still alive?
Mm-mm.
Mm.
He passed away. And the little brother, that's what I call him, is the little brother, because he was like, well, you don't look like anybody in my family, and that's really not how DNA works. But I look like my family. I look like the people in my family. I wanted him to do a DNA test, and we'll see. We'll see if I get some of that going. If not, it is what it is. But I just thought that was interesting. So this person asked if we could stay connected, and I was like, of course. So we're gonna see how that goes. And
Now
good
you
morning to our favorite listener, Tanya.
Taya.
We're gonna be talking about some good stuff today, Tanya. I think. Hope
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
in. This is
Sit
a
back,
good.
go get your popcorn and your beverage and all of the things.
Yes, this is a good show for you too, Tanya.
Mm.
So let's just get into it, right? So today we're talking about anxiety and how do we become the masters of our anxiety, and how do we actually turn that anxiety into a position of power for us? How do we flip the script on our anxiety, right? Because that's what's important. We have to learn how to navigate these anxious moments, these anxious thoughts, and understand how we can use that to propel us further. So let's kind of start with a little bit about what anxiety is, right? And anxiety isn't just about having butterflies in your stomach before you're going on stage to talk to 1,000 people, which happens to me. I get very much butterflies. But it's a persistent, often overwhelming sense of worry that just doesn't easily go away, right? And it can come from work stress, personal challenges, and sometimes it may just come out of nowhere. And you're like, I don't even know exactly what's causing me anxiety, but I'm very anxious in this moment. Oh, second now. We got us a visitor.
What?
Look who popped in the
Is it the Dr. Paulette Clark? Is that who it is? Is that
Yeah. She looked like she might be. She looked like she might be frozen.
I
We're
think I'm
going to.
frozen.
Yeah, your video's frozen. I can hear you though.
there she is.
Hey, hey,
Hey.
Dr. Clark. For those that are unaware, Dr. Clark is the illustrious owner and the proprietor who has brought us this wonderful platform, Cityscape Radio. Without her, you would not be listening to Sharonda and I. We would not be giving you your whole life. So, we got to say hi to the big boss when she come in the building.
You know what? I can't with y'all. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh,
Good
but you will
morning.
though, ma'am. You will. Mhm.
You will.
Oh,
You will.
You will. You will. You gonna get this love, ma'am.
oh, okay. Well, we
Period.
appreciate you. We appreciate you.
So we're talking
Period.
about anxiety today. We're talking about how do we reframe our anxiety. And Tanya says hello. Tanya's our very, very loyal listener. She done came on here, got her whole life. Look, we love Tanya. She's here for us, and we love it, and we appreciate you.
Okay.
So what we're talking about is just kind of what is anxiety. Anxiety being that overwhelming sense of worry that you just can't get rid of very easily, right? So imagine that you got an uninvited guest who came to your party and will not leave. And
Why
they're
you
just
talking about me? You talking
and
about
they're
me?
just a Debbie Downer, right? Because they're gonna shut up, Veronda. They're gonna affect how you think. It affects how you feel, and it even
Yeah.
affects your ability to handle your daily tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Have you ever had an anxiety attack? Feel like you having a heart attack? Been there, done that.
Those
Right?
are not fun.
No. Now, and there are a lot of people who have anxiety specific disorders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that anxiety disorders are the most common mental health concern in the United States? And it affects over 40 million adults. Oh goodness, Tanya done had an anxiety attack on a party bus.
Oh, girl.
I can see that. I sometimes get anxiety attacks after COVID. I get anxiety attacks if it's I won't get a full anxiety attack. I get very anxious being in large spaces, closed, confined spaces with people.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
None of that bothers me. You know what bothers me? What gives me anxiety?
what?
The unknown. And it's the silliest
Well,
thing.
that's the only certain thing we have is the unknown.
Isn't that crazy? Like I can go about my day, and then all of a sudden I get this overwhelm. And I've learned how to do something about that. But I'm sure Leanne is going to be talking about that on today. And if she is not, I would love to share what I've been doing. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do have a segment where we will be
Of course you do.
daily practices. And look, that's what we do here.
That's what we do.
Yeah. And Tanya said it happened. Her friends were like, what the hell? But you know what? And that's a good thing to know, Tanya. It takes a while to come back out of that. It isn't always an immediate, oh, it's over. Okay, I can move on with my day. No. Anxiety can be crippling. And you've got a fear of something and you don't even often know what it is. It can completely immobilize you. It can make you irrational.
Man,
right?
it can shut your systems down one at a time. Ask me how I know this. Girl. Oh my gosh. My peripheral. I had when at the onset of mine, I had all of the faculties working, but as I started going deeper into the attack, my periphery went into a tunnel. Like you remember like back in the day how the TV used to go off like and like the fuzzy snow stuff. That was me.
Yes.
You don't know if you're going to be able to see after this. You don't know. It is like you said, Paula. It's the unknown part because I've never felt all of these symptoms all at the same time, and I didn't even know that I was having panic attacks until it was pointed out to me. That's the weird thing. Like I didn't a doctor actually asked me if I've had panic attacks before. I said
You're like, no.
And I talked to my sister. She was like, yes, don't you remember when grandma died? Don't you remember when mom died? Don't you? And it's like I lost time. And I had to call the doctor back and was like, yes, actually I do. I didn't know.
Yeah.
But look at it this way, right? Within the professional setting, high stakes environments. So if you've worked in finance, military, hell, sometimes even teaching is high stakes.
Girl,
right?
Bless them teachers.
In those kind of high stakes, high anxiety environments, anxiety can be like having an extra heavy briefcase that you got to carry around with you everywhere you go. It can affect your decision making, your confidence, and it can most certainly lead to burnout because you're constantly overthinking, overanalyzing, being overly critical, over worrisome about all these little things. And especially for us as Black women, where we're often juggling multiple roles, high expectations. And when I say multiple roles, I'm talking about at work, at home, in the community, at church, our personal relationships, our social environments. We've got 42 hats when we wake up every day before we even get our day started. Right?
Because you're a real firefighter.
Yes. And then we have these high expectations that are set on us. Recognizing and managing anxiety at that point isn't just helpful, it's crucial for our success, for our overall health and well-being, for our happiness. You can't wake up happy when you're stressed and anxious all the time.
Yeah.
Can you say that part again?
You cannot. You cannot and you shall not wake up happy when you are so stressed and so anxious all the time and you're worried about all the things. To me, there are levels to that, right?
Man.
I keep worrying about things that are outside of my control that I can do nothing about. That's usually where a lot of our worry comes into place. Like you said, that unknown.
Yeah.
They're bringing in a new VP or they're merging with a new company. Am I going to lose my job? That's one of the biggest ones. They're downsizing. Am I going to be in that? Have I done enough to show my value, show my worth to whoever? Those things can be very stressful. You know, they can cause a lot of anxiety. But I want people to recognize that when you're dealing with anxiety, it's like catching, let's say when you're cooking with garlic and you got that garlic in that oil, there's a point when you're going to scorch that garlic and your whole meal, you can't do nothing but throw the oil, the garlic, all that out because it's going to have an extra bitter taste and it's going to ruin the flavor of whatever you were trying to cook.
Right.
It's kind of like recognizing anxiety. We don't often know it sometimes until we're in the middle of it. You know? Until, like you said, you were having full blackouts around your attacks. You don't remember them until someone else has to say, this is what happened. You don't remember this, this, and this, right? These are the important things that we have to think about, because recognizing it and being honest with ourselves about it is the first step in managing it. And it might be that you talk to a good friend that you have, you consult a coach like myself or a therapist. I want to make sure that everybody knows getting help is not a weakness. It is a sign of strength.
Absolutely.
Say that again. Getting help is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength.
Yeah.
Because it shows you that you're not alone on this journey. And there are professionals, friends, and whoever that can really help you turn these anxious energies into a power source for you.
The person that knows me better than I know myself is my sister. My sister is the one that when I say I'm here because of her, she prayed me into existence, I mean what I said.
Oh,
so she's my other mama. You know, mine passed away, but she was the one that was as a preteen dragging two toddlers across the city on the city bus. Didn't lose us, but brought us home to cook for. I mean, this is my other mom, and she's the one that brought it to my attention of when I was black. I couldn't recall. I didn't know what it was. She was like, Sharonda, yes, you do have panic attacks. And she had to break it all the way down for me. And I'm like,
So I got a question.
Yes.
So we're talking about anxiety and we're talking about panic attacks. And the question that I have is how many panic attacks do you have to have before you recognize that you're having one? Does that make sense? So what
when you're aware, when I was aware of it, it was one, and I
right.
did something about it.
Yeah. So the question that I have, okay, so I'm a let me back up, and y'all know I be all over the place, so reel me back in. So we're talking about anxiety, panic attacks, all that. It's all kind of in the same box. And I've learned that the older that I've gotten, I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
The older that I've gotten, I've had them more frequently. I have a panic attack, I know, once a day. Minimum. About nothing. Okay. So it'll just be like, oh my God. And then it's gloom. And am I the only one? Is it and when do you, what is it? Is it the same for everybody? Is it heart palpitations? Is it like, is it the mind racing and trying to figure out things? Is
your
it
pulse is racing, your
yeah, pulse
breathing,
is
your
racing.
Right, but I think there's different things, right? So sometimes it's not a panic attack, sometimes it's just stress, right?
Wait,
We're stressed.
what?
No, I mean, but so think of it this way, right? When you're trying to decide, am I just stressed, or am I really suffering from anxiety?
Yeah.
Not necessarily the panic attack, but suffering from anxiety or having an anxious moment. Stress usually is going to decrease after that stressful event passes, right? Anxiety is the thing that hangs around, right?
Is it for days?
It can last for
Oh my God, today.
you know what I'm saying? So it can make you dread even doing the normal things, right? So the first time you have a panic attack, right? You might have, like you said, heart palpitations. You might have sweaty palms. Right?
Right.
You may just have an overwhelming sense of dread or foreboding, or this worry, this where it feels like, for me, it feels like a weight on my chest. Right? Where everything feels heavy and I'm reacting emotionally to seemingly small things. Right? I'm nervous about this. So it's affecting how I think, how I act, how I feel, So we have to, and I think it may be different for each person, right? But I think what you have to know is how you have to start becoming in tune with your body to understand how your body reacts. And Tanya said it's that nervous feeling running down her arm, right? You have to know how your body responds to things. So it starts with you being aware and being mindful and practicing mindfulness and doing body scans to see what's going on so that you understand the triggers that your body is giving you. Your body will always give you triggers when something is wrong. We're just not always good at reading the signs.
Right.
Right? If you've ever just all of a sudden you feel dread and you can't breathe. Right?
You'd be like, oh my God, I gotta lay down. I need my period pills.
Yeah. You know what?
I'm just saying, that's how it is. It's like a thing, like and like I said, it's the older that I've gotten. So of course, I did some research.
Of course.
Because I wanted to know what was going on, because I'm menopausal. Wait a minute, let's talk about this. I'm post-menopausal. The factory is shut down. Ain't nothing else happening. Okay. But what I learned was women, no matter what race, but especially Black women, like you said, because of the stress factors that we have on us, as a whole, we doing all the things for everybody. But the one thing that I found out doing my research was that estrogen levels play a major role in
estrogen and probably cortisol too.
Yes, and cortisol, because if they're off balance, and as you age, your estrogen levels drop. Here's what's most interesting and what's causing some of the issues that we may be having with anxiety, because I think anxiety to some degree, just a little bit, is okay, because your fight or flight comes into play during that time. And I think that's kind of where some of the lessons that we learn kind of happen. But what I look at is your estrogen, regular old estrogen, we don't call it that, when it drops, is replaced with something called, I think it's called estrogen 3. Guess where it's produced?
Where?
The belly area.
Mm-hmm.
So you stop producing it from your ovaries, and you're going somewhere with this, from your ovaries and from your fallopian tubes and old uterus, okay? Because she done went to bed. She ain't waking up, right? Or she gone. She was
gone.
She was evicted. Then Lord have mercy. But then you don't stop producing estrogen. You start producing another type of estrogen, and that
wasn't enough.
Because but it's gone. So it's trying to balance you out. But then here comes that other hormone, like Leanne said, cortisol. And so the other thing is that if those are off balance, which they will be, you already know what happens. If it's coming from the gut, guess what?
You're having gastrointestinal problems.
It's going to go.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's also signs of anxiety. Mm-hmm.
It's also signs of anxiety. And so I said, okay, now I got to start doing something. So I got this little watch. I think I'm cute with my little watch. Okay. This might be 2 weeks. So I'm trying to do 10,000 steps a day. Okay. I didn't say I always made it, but it's making me more cognizant. Here's something else. Vitamin D, get you some. And I ain't talking about the one that y'all, come on with me. But I'm just bringing
kind too. I need that kind too, though.
Oh my God, today. Okay.
Are you talking about me, lady?
She was talking about you. She was talking about you.
You told she would talk about you.
So what I learned is that vitamin D is not a vitamin, it's a hormone. And so if some of those are off balance, it's going to cause anxiety, or what we think is anxiety, when really our bodies that have not had enough, or there is an imbalance. No. So, right, 420 friendly. Dr.
Clark, you just better teach us something, ma'am.
So the thing that I've really learned is that I have to, number one, sleep well.
Yes.
Yeah, 420.
Melatonin. If we're not getting
that's not the segment we in right now, Paulette. We ain't even got to that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Right. But I had to talk about what, right. We're not in that segment, but you know what I mean? So I just had to just share what I had learned, it because it made me excited. Yeah, because it helped me to understand that number one, what I was feeling and what I was going through was natural, but it also made me angry as hell. Because I'm not in control. So what can you do?
But there's always points where you may feel that you're not in control. So let's back up a little bit and talk about some of the signs that you may experience physically and emotionally when it comes to anxiety. Okay. We've already talked about the increased heart rate. Okay. Yep. Or when it be pounding super hard and you're like, oh my God. It can feel like you're having a heart attack. It like literally can be chest pains, like, oh my God. Okay. Excessive sweating.
Yeah.
Then you're just doing regular shit. You ain't out doing a lot, but you have excessive trembling or shaking.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
And you may not be nervous, but sometimes when I'm standing in front of crowds, my hands will shake because it's just an anxious moment. Muscle tension, fatigue, also lack of sleep. Those are some of the things that you're having. And then gastrointestinal, when I have a lot of anxiety, I definitely get stomach problems.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'll feel nauseous. Right?
Yeah, nausea.
You
Yeah.
have constipation, diarrhea, things like that are happening. That's your body telling you there's a problem. And hey, it's trying to hit you. Hey, we got a problem here. But emotionally, you may also have constantly worrying about stuff excessively, like to where it's almost like an obsession.
That's scary.
Irritability, easily agitated or annoyed by small things, feelings of dread and foreboding, difficulty concentrating.
Telling my whole life and stuff.
Look, I'm trying to give y'all some things. And how do they manifest? They manifest as avoidance. So you start avoiding people, places, and things.
Right.
Obsessive behaviors, where now you're engaging in
businessman.
I'm saying.
I'm just here to give y'all the news and the details. And these are things that sometimes are performed to help alleviate your anxiety. Yeah. Panic attacks, we all know about those. Those sudden intense episodes where it feels like you have issues, palpitations, sweating, shaking, the shortness of breath, numbness, and that feeling of cold. Or you may be somebody who goes inside and you're going to totally socially withdraw.
Yep.
And procrastination, baby, that is usually my thing.
Is that anxiety too?
That can be a behavioral.
Get my list together. Hold on. Are you serious?
Yeah. But think about it. Anything that is causing you additional stress or anxiety,
you don't want to face it.
You don't want to face it. So that procrastination, you got to do it, but I ain't got to do it right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it later.
That was me this weekend.
Those are things that are
to the last minute to do stuff.
Anxious moments.
Yep. For me, it was the waiting to the last minute to do something that used to be so fun to me. But I'm aggravated with it now. And I'm just like, and the stress attached to it is on the outside of me, meaning the organization that I do bookkeeping for. It's like, I know that it's we knew that it was a 2-year term. So in 2022, we jumped in full feet first, not head first, jumped into helping and stuff. And now that we're on the back end of the 2-year term, somebody was like, "Oh, you guys been doing such a great job that y'all should just stay for another term." Me? The one that's got to chase people, I got to chase people to give them money. I'm tired. I'm over it. Totally over it. And I used to do this for a living. This I'm volunteering to do. And now if I don't feel like doing it, girl, that's it. That's exactly it. The procrastination, Paulette. It is procrastination of doing something that used to be fun to you or fun for you. It's not fun for me now. And now it's becoming work.
Stress. Once it's a cause of stress, we are now like, okay, I don't want to do that right now. Right. For me, when it was working with certain clients and on certain client projects or working with certain people, they bring me anxiety. It's to the point where sometimes I don't, if a person calls, certain people call, I may not answer because I can't deal with the anxiety kicks up as soon as I see their name on the call register. Right. Those are things we have to pay attention to that. And as always, everybody, you know that this is a drop-in show. So if you would like to come in and share your experiences and what you do around anxiety and all of that, because in this next segment, we're going to take a break. But in the next segment, this is where we're really going to get into the meat and the potatoes. Okay. We done gave you a little bit of vegetables, but now it's time to get the meat and potatoes. And how do we deal with anxiety? And how do we turn it into a position of power for us? How do we leverage it to energize us and
I
to
love
move
this.
us
This is
forward.
so
Because
good.
that's the point. That's the point. The point is
Yeah.
for us to get out of being in the anxiety and not knowing how to navigate it. We need to flip that and figure out how do we turn that into a power thing for us. What are some things that we can do in our daily lives? So, as you know, we're broadcasting live on KCCR Cityscape Radio, where we're changing the narrative for our people because we're always telling our story our way. Are you listening, though? Are you
Are
listening?
you listening? Download the Cityscape app on
Yes.
your Android or iOS devices. There you go.
Yes. So we'll be right back after this quick commercial.
Hey, sis. Ever feel like you're on the verge of a meltdown? Are you overwhelmed from juggling your job, your family, and trying to fit in me time, but seriously dropping the ball on that last one? Guess what? You're not alone. Introducing the Burnout Recovery Kit. It's your 14-day lifeline to go from burnt out to lit up. Get ready to reclaim your joy, energy, and that I've got this attitude. Grab your free ebook, a purpose-driven workbook, daily email prompts, as well as SMS boosters and Q&A sessions. It's like a spa day for your soul, and guess what? It's totally free. Don't waste another minute feeling drained. Go to officialburnoutrecoverykit.com right now and kickstart your transformation. The Burnout Recovery Kit, because you deserve to be at the top of your own to-do list. Don't just cope, thrive, sis.
Go live for a little bit, and we're back.
All right. So this second half, like I said, we're going to be opening it up. If you would like to join us live, you can head on over to wuhs as in Sam.in/join the live. And you can come and talk to us, but keep it respectful, because don't come for us, because we did not send for you. So keep it respectful.
Ooh.
Because I return the level of petty. I return whatever you give, I'm returning. We're trying to have a good day. So, with that being said, act accordingly. That's all I'm saying. Act accordingly.
Be nice, y'all. Be nice.
Yes. So let's talk about some of the daily practices to help with anxiety management. Okay. I'm going to read a couple of things, but then I want us to kind of go around the room and talk about what we do that helps us. And Paulette, you started on some of that in the last segment. So one of the things is that is always going to be helpful for you is to get yourself a morning ritual to help you start your day on a positive note. Okay. My mentor, Trevor Otts, on our call this morning was talking about your zone of control. So your zone of control being that time before your work day starts. So whatever time your work day starts, there's that zone of control where you can control what you're doing, how you're setting yourself up for success, right? Think of that, and how can I put some things into my morning ritual? Start your day with intention, right? That morning ritual can be what really grounds you. It could be meditation. It could be writing in a journal. It could be setting your intentions for the day. It isn't just really about having a routine. It's really about setting the tone for a calm, centered, happy, healing day. It should always start with a mantra or affirmation in my mind. I got a whole set. If you don't have an affirmation, I got a whole set for you, baby. You got to an affirmation card.
Oh, yes, baby. Oh my God.
I got you. If you don't know what to say as an affirmation, I got you. Right? Start with intention.
Yeah.
Add to that breathing techniques, mindful breathing practices. That is an excellent remedy for those instant panic attacks as well.
Yeah.
Physical activity, taking a walk. And then nutrition. We talked about the types of foods that let you see where she went, because she dropped back out. If one of y'all can in the text see where Tanya went, she was here. But
Yeah. Oh,
nutrition, how can we eat foods that are going to help balance our cortisol levels, our estrogen levels, right? That are going to help us get out of this stressful feeling. And get yourself an evening wind down. Now, do not turn yourself into an alcoholic, because your evening wind down includes 2 heavy shots of Jack or something. We're not saying that. But get yourself, as your day, put some gratitude in your day and look at what are the 5 things that I want, that I'm grateful for today as we end our day. What are the 5 things that happened in my life that I'm grateful for? Right? What are the things that I want to do? Is there a warm bath in your future? Welcome, Tanya. Is there a warm bath? It might be reading, setting your next day up so that you don't wake up stressed and anxious in the morning about what do I have to do? Right? So these are a few things. We're going to go round robin and see what are ways that you guys, what are things that you guys do to help circumvent or navigate through anxious moments. So, Sharonda.
Hey, Tanya.
She done finally got herself in the building.
Oh, somebody in the room. Welcome, welcome. So I like what you said, Leanne, about the zone of the part that you can do something about.
Your zone of control.
Zone of control. So
let me write that down.
So we set our there's a eternal calendar setting that we have. So the first thing you see when you click on your phone in the morning is make time for gratitude. Like right then and there, say thank you, Lord. First, He woke you up. First of all,
amen.
And so you start off in the gratitude mode, and then for me, I'm meditating on the treadmill where I'm listening to "You Are Not What You Think" by David Wynn. Girl, because inside my mind is, I don't even want to be inside that bad boy. And so when you are told that you are not what you think, and your thinking is the enemy, oh my God.
How do you spell Wynn?
N
the N-G-Y-E-N?
Yeah. E-N-Y-E-N. David Wynn. Or Eckhart Tolle about the power of now. The future and the past are the enemies of now. Yes. Nothing happens yesterday. It happens in the now.
We have to be
hold on for a second.
Oop, where's my fan? I don't see it. I can't be non-clackable.
You got to get the fan. You got to get the fan.
You keep talking.
We can't hear you, Tanya. You're on mute. We can't hear you. And then and I go for a walk. I talk to my girl, my sister. I learned something about my sister that today's reason that I love her so much. She was taking care of us back in the day when we had cloth diapers.
Baby.
Cloth. You gotta love somebody a whole hell of a lot to be ma'am. Let me tell you about my sister. I told her that my sister is the bomb and her sister sucks. Talking about me.
That's
just, I mean, I love her. I absolutely love her. And she just, I thanked God and my mom today on my walk for an awesome sister to be able to pour. She's going to be 60 on May 1st.
Wow.
And she is
birthday to you. Okay.
Absolutely. She's done. I can't, there's nothing that she can ask me for that I won't do for her.
What
Right.
you gonna do?
I love her. And so she was the one that had to bring it back to my remembrance about the panic attacks. And she's the one that I called to get me unstuck off the doggone ceiling by my fingernails for anything or nothing at all and stuff. Right. So I'm totally grateful to have her in my life and stuff. And just, and then Paulette said something about 420. Mm-hmm. And
that can too. Ain't nothing
No,
wrong.
that was Tanya. Tanya was talking about 420.
About 420 Fernley.
And I was like,
about 5 minutes for you, Paulette, before I want to turn, because we got to get to the part where we're turning our anxiety into action. And so I want to
okay, it ain't gonna take me 5 minutes, trust me. So
okay, we ready for it.
This is what I do. The first thing is when my feet hit the ground, before my feet hit the ground, I always take some time to quietly meditate before I even get out of the bed. I use several different techniques to kind of center myself. But even before then, I also try to have a regular routine before I go to bed. And one of the things that I try my best to do is I have positioned myself to go to bed at a specific time. Leanne knows I usually don't go to bed till 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Right? I did it last night, okay? Because I'm running Brownstone Worldwide. It's a lot, but I've pushed myself to try my best to go to bed no later than midnight. That's saying a lot for me. Okay,
that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot because normally like 4 o'clock in the morning is nothing for me to shut it down, and that's because my body just can't take anymore. But what I've done is I've made it a conscious effort to check out what I'm eating. Number one. Number two, the other thing that I've done is I've paid attention to what my body is doing during this time of me going through menopause. Okay. So what I'm learning is paying attention to the new body, because this ain't the 20-year-old body that was snapped back if she did up. Okay. Right. So stuff is meaningful. I feel like I'm Squidward now with the extra arms and things are swinging and clapping. That wasn't doing that before, right? And so I'm learning how to pay attention to what my body is doing so that I can make the conscious effort. And I'm researching. And here's the big one, y'all. I am seeking the help of my primary care physician. That is important. We don't go to the doctor enough. Black folks, we ain't doing it. We won't do it. We won't trust nobody. My doctor.
She talking to y'all, not to me. She talking to y'all.
Right. I go to my doctor, and she's a sister. So what I try to do is I be like, girl, look, that's the other thing. If you need hormone replacement, get it. But here's what I do. I have discovered melatonin. Pause. From a natural perspective, I start shutting everything down. I start turning lights off so that melatonin can naturally be produced by the body. If that does not help because cortisol levels, like Leanne said, is so high, I will take a melatonin and jujube supplement. Then, on top of that, throughout the day, I have learned that something that none of us have enough of is magnesium. And that is our anxiety levels high. So I actually take a magnesium supplement and I put it in my water and I drink it throughout the day. When I tell y'all it has changed the game for me, I feel like a citizen. Okay.
But that's so Tanya, we got about 2 minutes. So what about you? What do you do to help manage your anxiety? You're not on mute. You can start talking. Can you hear us, Tanya?
Is she typing?
Yes.
There she is.
We can hear you. Yeah, all we hear is you're typing. Okay.
Tanya.
Are you with us, Tanya? I don't think Tanya's with us.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. So the question was, what do you do for what do you do for anxiety, or do you have a question for us?
Honestly, I'm 420 friendly, and I just really take me a couple of tokes and try to ease that. I ain't even lying.
Okay.
Is
I
it
mean,
helping?
that's what some people do. I mean, and there's medicinal where it is
Hmm.
shown that cannabis and cannabis products
Mhm.
can help with
I put
anxiety,
gum.
with
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah, with anxiety, with depression, with all of that. CBD is very heavy in that area, and people are using it and getting great results. So, for those of you who may be like, oh my God, she said, look, we're not here to judge. We're
Not
here
at
to
all.
help people find real solutions to real problems. And those are things that can be prescribed by a professional.
Absolutely.
So don't even start it over here because we don't do that here. We're
See, that's what
supportive.
she was talking about, Paulette. Don't come for us.
Don't come
And
for
you
us.
can get marijuana card in New
I
York,
love it.
Say
just
Exactly.
so
again.
they
Say
She has
that
a
again,
card.
they
Paulette.
She
can
has a card in New
get
York.
card in New York.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. And that's
That's
what and that's called getting the help that you need.
yeah.
And that's what everybody needs to do. So in the last 10 minutes, we've got about 9 minutes left in the show. I want to talk about how do we leverage our anxiety to be a catalyst for our growth and movement into the future. Okay.
By learning from it.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you definitely have to learn from it and not allow it to cripple you, right?
Yeah.
That part.
Because anxiety is a messenger. Okay. It is a
It
messenger telling you that something in your life needs attention.
Yes.
mhm.
It's telling you something's wrong and you need to be focused and paying attention. So you have to, one, learn to listen for the signals and the signs. You have to start knowing what is going on in your body and your heart and your mind and being able to be mindful and in that moment just see what's going on with you so that you can, when you start listening to your body, it will tell you every time. And then you want to respond to the signals so that you can turn that anxiety that you're feeling
Yeah.
around, because you want to recognize it, listen to it, recognize it, go into your toolbox so you know how to respond to it and don't just respond emotionally off of the first thing, right? Because it's about recognizing these anxious moments. Sometimes you can see when when an anxiety attack is going to come on, right? So you have to know your triggers. Sometimes it's about removing yourself from said triggers. That might be people, places, or things that you have to take out of your life,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
right?
Mm-mm. Mm.
Set
Woman.
Yeah,
achievable,
yes,
look,
ma'am.
set some
That part.
achievable
That
goals.
part.
Look. Sometimes, and it's sometimes that's the hardest thing, is to let people go.
Mm. Mm.
But then we have to set achievable goals,
Yeah.
right? And work towards those. Stop trying to look at the top of the staircase as your goal. Maybe you need intermediate goals. Break that one goal into smaller goals that are manageable and easier for you to attain, because you're going to be less anxious and less overwhelmed when you look and see it's 500 stairs versus when you focus on just making it up that next stair.
Hmm.
Because pretty soon you've made it up all 499 and you at the top, like, well, damn, that didn't even take that long. It wasn't
No,
even that
no.
hard, right? And how do we use our anxiety as motivation? Because we have to let it drive us to prepare more thoroughly, to plan more meticulously, and to engage more proactively. I'm going to say that again for those in the back who may not have been listening. Let your anxiety help you to what? What did I say? Do you guys remember what I said?
Which part? You said
Y'all
lie.
wasn't listening. Y'all wasn't even listening.
We
I
were
said, let it
listening.
drive you to prepare more thoroughly,
Let it
plan
drive.
more meticulously,
Yes.
and engage more proactively. And that might be with people that make you happy. That might
Yeah.
be professionals who can help and support you on your journey.
Mm-hmm.
We have to flip the script on anxiety and use it as fuel rather than using it as a blocker and what do you call it, a crippling agent.
Mm-hmm.
We have to start using it. Okay, how can I use this feeling, whatever, to
Yes, she is.
move me forward? Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. And then get that mentality together. Get your mind right. Right?
Mm-hmm. For
When
for for me,
okay,
it was the learning from it, because it could have been worse than a doggone panic attack. It could have been fatal. I'm talking about when my panic attack, my
yes.
most severe one, happened at work. I'm like, oh no, hell no. I retired the same year that happened. Like, oh
Yeah.
no, I'm not gonna wait much longer, because it could show up as something worse and more fatal. So I listened to my body. I was like, I'm gonna choose myself now. It's my
And
time now.
sometimes we have to do that. And like I said, it might mean leaving people, places, and things behind, right?
Yeah.
You have to do what serves your highest good for your health and your prosperity and your wellness and peace of mind. If it is not giving you peace of mind, you have to think about why and look at is this is the environment that you really want to and need to be in. Right? Because if every time I go to this job, I'm negative all the time, and the people there are
Oh my
negative.
God.
My experiences are negative. I
Mm,
cannot stay in that environment, and I will leave because
absolutely. Yep.
I'm an empath. So all that negativity brings me down
Mm-hmm.
because I feel all of it, right? So how do we maintain a positive mindset? You can journal.
Yep.
Make yourself a gratitude journal or a gratitude jar. Mine is called a You Go Girl jar. And it's where I will put in positive things people have said about me, but more importantly, positive things that I say about myself. Right? If you have never just sat down and start your day by writing 3 things that you love about yourself, and in the space of 30 days, you cannot say the same thing. I'll give you 15 days. You can't repeat.
Mm.
Right?
I
And
love
it
it.
and it doesn't have to be big things. It might be, you know what? I love the shape of my eyes. It might be that, you know, I really love butterflies. And I love the way butterflies make me feel, right? Think about those things, right? What do you love about yourself? Most people, when you ask them who are their top 5 people, they're not in their own top 5. We pick other people before we will pick ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So you have to get that positive mental attitude, your PMA. You have to get your PMA tightened up. So true. I left a career, spent 20 years in valuable, rewarding work, but it was robbing me of my peace. I
That
quit
could be.
without a backup plan. But look, when you feel that overwhelmed, dejected, un, unheard, unseen, unappreciated, sometimes you have to make a drastic move and you may not have an answer, but you're
I
fighting
feel
for
you.
your life. At that point, when it's
Yep.
that bad, you are really fighting for your life. So lean into, which is my next thing, your supportive network.
Yep.
Get you a group of people in your life who believe in you, who want the best for you, and
Mm-hmm.
who always hold space for you and chuck your chest when you fucking up.
Hmm.
They're not going to let you just mess up. Those are the things that we have to do. Lean into that network because sometimes they're the ones who
Are
are
you trying
going
to
to
ask us?
come back and help you,
Oh, okay.
right? That's what
Hmm.
we have to think about.
Yeah.
Getting that network. Reframing. So as we wrap up, reframe the anxious moments into powerhouse moments for yourself. Make sure you're using it to create new goals and break those goals down to things that are meaningful and manageable for you, that you're using it so that you can prepare. The best way to spur off a panic attack is to know what your triggers are and plan around that. So prepare, plan, and engage, right? That's how we start flipping the script on our anxiety. And that's how we turn it into a power position for us, right? That's how we turn it into a power position for us. And she said she downsized her place, bills, and everything. Yes.
Smart move right there.
And realize what's for you and what ain't for you. I had to realize that corporate America was not for me.
Right.
I still work with clients, and sometimes it feels like I'm in corporate America, but I'm not, because at any time I could walk away and say I no longer choose this contract and I need to go do this over here. But I realized that corporate America wasn't for me. It was too much of stress, too much of things. And that's why I'm moving from having a 30-something year in IT to being, eventually I will be fully vested in the wellness space.
I love that.
Right? Because we have to know where our triggers are. If you get nothing else out of today, remember to look for your triggers. And stop thinking of anxiety as this foe, as this, think of it as an informant, as a messenger. Because it's only telling you that you need to worry and, focus on something. Yes, Sharonda, that piece is non-negotiable, baby. Non-negotiable. So let the anxiety clue you into when there is a problem. Look at it as an informant or as a messenger. Okay?
I'm just saying that was it right there.
I feel like that was it. I got more, but we gotta wrap up. We got things we gotta do today. Okay, any final words from you, Dr. Clark or Sharonda, to leave our people with?
It's not the enemy. There's a reason why you're feeling the way that you are. It's up to you to listen to the signals and act accordingly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll listen. I'm with Sharonda on this one. Listen to your body. And I'm in agreement 100%. It ain't the enemy. It's your body. Your body is telling you, it's warning you, it's giving you signals that either there's something metabolically out of order, and it's impacting everything that's happening, or you're hormonally imbalanced. And get the help that you need. And also maintain your faith. Keep something going for yourself in that regard.
Yes.
No matter what it is.
And I'm gonna leave you guys with this tip. I love a good tip. Use visualization to help you reduce anxiety. And when I say visualization, I say that because it helps prep your brain to handle the actual situation that's causing you anxiety more calmly when it arises. Think of it like doing a dress rehearsal for whatever it is that you want that is going to cause you anxiety. Public speaking, typically the one area that causes a lot of people anxiety, right? Visualize yourself on that stage. Visualize it going well. You on top of it. You got all da 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 da. Right? Visualize that. See it happening in a positive way. And then go and prepare so that when you get on stage, you don't feel as stressed. You're still going to have the butterflies in your stomach. I think that's healthy. right? Because you want to do a good job, but you will not have the crippling anxiety, hopefully. And this takes time, it takes practice. But I feel like if you can see something clearly in your mind with your eyes closed, you can make that happen. So use visualization and also realize that you're equipped to turn every anxious moment into an opportunity for growth for yourself. We've given you some tools today, but it's on you to find the tools that work for who? For you. Okay? Find your support, find your community. We got you right here. Wake Up Happy Sis. We got
Waiting on you.
waiting for you, just waiting for you to come and join us. Because when you have like-minded women who aren't about tearing each other down, who are about uplifting and holding space, you're going to feel different. You won't feel so alone. Those anxious moments hopefully will become less and less because you're building up your arsenal, your self-care toolkit, if you will, of how to deal with all these moments.
Yeah.
And as always, I want you to have the day that you were meant to have, because you can control how you respond to all the things that happen to you. So choose to have a blessed and happy day.
Amen.
So where can they meet? Where can they find you, Sharonda?
Bookkeepingforlife.com. Go ahead and get your extension so I can get you together.
She ain't talking about hair extension, baby.
She's not talking about those.
No.
She's not. Mm-mm. And what about you, Dr. Clark?
All things Brownstone Worldwide, brownstoneworldwide.com, cityscaperadio.com, iOS and Android app as well. And you can also find me at Brownstone Living Magazine. Where can you find all of this? At brownstoneworldwide.com. There you go. Period.
And as always, you can always meet Wake Up Happy Sis anywhere. Anywhere I'm in these streets, Wake Up Happy Sis is. Find us on all social media. We're actually going to be closing down the Facebook group and moving to a different community, just because some of the things that, the powers that be are doing over in those Facebook streets. So we're going to have a new community for you to come and get that support. And I'm serious when I say that. We have the resources to help you deal with some of this, so you don't have to feel like you're doing it alone. So with that, let's make sure that today is the last day that we just survive. Let's turn our focus to unapologetically thriving, because that's what we do over here. Wake Up Happy Sis. We give you all the tools, the tricks, and techniques, and the benefit of our mistakes in our lives, because we share real, raw, and honest here to help you go from surviving to thriving. With that, we will see you on Thursday. What are we talking about Thursday? Thursday, we are going to be talking about the strength in every step. So we're celebrating this being Physical Wellness Month. So we're going to talk about incorporating movement into our daily lives. Hey, everything connects, because did I not just say that physical activity can also help with anxiety? Mm-hmm. So we're giving you all the tools. We're giving you people that can come in and talk to you about this. So stay tuned to Cityscape Radio, to Wake Up Happy Sis Show, and we will see you later, lovelies.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Wake Up Happy Sis.